Hello everybody, and the train goes on, and we're at 1983. 83, wow. So here's 1983 in a little nutshell. President Reagan initiated the Strategic Defense Initiative, which was got to be known as Star Wars, and it failed obviously. Shuttle Challenger was launched for the first time. The world population reached 4.7 billion people, of which 1 billion of that were Chinese. Richard Noble took the land speed record in his car Thrust 2 at 633 and a third miles an hour. At 633 and a half miles an hour. Get it right. Seat belts became mandatory in Britain. Sally Ride became the first American woman in space. She was on the Space Shuttle Challenger. Probably the same launch as the one I mentioned earlier. Margaret Thatcher won a landslide election that year for the Conservatives to become Prime Minister for the second time.
So what I told you was true, from a certain point of view.
ARPANET was changed to use the Internet Protocol, creating the Internet. Also that year, Breakfast TV began. BBC started showing BBC Breakfast, and ITV called it something else. Yeah. Some TV shows that interested me that year were The Moomins. Well, I used to watch it. It wasn't my favourite show, but I do remember it. Blackadder was new that year. Just Good Friends, the BBC sitcom. Remember that very well. The A-Team came to the BBC. No, came to ITV. Came to British Television. That did. Tucker's Luck was a BBC Two drama. This was basically a spin-off of Grange Hill. The character Tucker was one of the most popular characters on the Grange Hill, and he left school, and looks like a couple of years later they decided to bring out his own TV show of what he did after he left school. Oh, Feeders and Pet was a very popular drama series on ITV, I believe. So that was a show about some builders from the northeast who went to Germany for work, building work in Germany. The northeast bit, that's in the title, you know. Auf Wiedersehen Pet, Auf Wiedersehen being German, Pet being a term of affection, often used by us here up north. Yeah, Pet. But more by the northeasters, you know, Newcastle and the like. So amongst those who died that year were David Niven, Karen Carpenter, her of the Carpenters, and Carolyn Jones, best known, to me at least, for playing Morticia Addams in The Addams Family. Born that year, I'm keeping this list short now because I want to keep these videos fairly short. So some celebrities born that year included Emily Blunt, Lupita Nyong'o, who I discovered is actually Mexican. Well, born in Mexico of Kenyan heritage. So it's I guess you could say it's complicated. Isn't life these days? Yeah. Mo Farah, the Olympic and world champion runner type chap, long distance runner. That's what I'm looking for. Amy Winehouse was born that year, as was Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino, aka but not really Lando Calrissian, man, and Felicity Jones, also best known to me as the girl in the Rogue One movie, A Star Wars Story. And lastly but not least, Adam Driver, also famous for Star Wars. He also played that girl's boyfriend in Girls.
I've been waiting for this day for a long time.
No, you haven't.
I'm immune to the light.
Really?
Don't fight it.
Why not?
You don't be afraid. I feel it too.
Stay with me.
I guess you could say that the early to mid 80s was when I started buying records, and one of the records I bought, not that year, but that was released that year, was a record by ZZ Top called Eliminator. And here's my version, the picture disc, because, you know, I could have bought the ordinary vinyl, but I think this is prettier. Yeah, so that's the year that I would have turned 15, and you know, getting old, getting ready to leave school in a couple of years' time, hopefully. You probably won't notice it, but I had developed a bit of a stutter by then. I've edited it out, hence all the drum cuts that you're seeing in these videos, but you know, I could leave them in, but I prefer not to, because, well, would you? Anyway, that was 1983 for me. Do you have any recollections of 1983? Oh yeah, Star Wars Return of the Jedi was also released that year. And when that film came out, my best friend and I bought tickets to see it. Bought tickets in advance, about 4 months in advance to go see that movie. And I can't remember what it cost us, about £5. Yeah. But it wasn't just the Return of the Jedi that we went to see, because on the same bill was not just one, not two, but all 3 Star Wars films. So the whole showing was Star Wars, A New Hope, Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, and then Star Wars Return of the Jedi. And it was quite a good day, all afternoon and evening. So must have spent about 8 hours in that cinema. Yeah, but I remember it being quite a good day, good evening, and a lot of other classmates, schoolmates, and that were there as well. So I particularly remember when it started, because back in those days, this is 1983, you understand, cinemas weren't all that, the showings weren't all that technically minded. So, but they had just before the show started, there was a mirror ball in the auditorium, and that came on. Spotlight shone on it, and it spun around slowly, and the whole cinema was just full of stars going around, and it looked quite amazing. A few memories of 1983, and well, looks like I'll see you next time for 1984.
It's a trap!